Here's the bottom of the carbide generator. This is what's the apparatus that's going to hold the carbide. It's going to sit in here. I'm going to try and clean it out afterwards. The remains is just calcium, which is not toxic. However, you don't want it sitting in there and causing the any oxidation or damage to the generator. Even into the 1970s, you could go to about any hardware store in the United States, I assume the United Kingdom as well, and buy calcium carbide for miners' lamps and also for other things. Now it is a little harder to get, a bit more expensive and harder to find, but you can still mail order calcium carbide. It's not used very often except for maybe some collectors and hobbyists that still collect and use miners' lamps. However, it is used for some cannons. So for small gas cannons that are used, they also use calcium carbide. So that's something that is potentially an additional source if you need to get some carbide for a lamp. I haven't tried the Canon carbide myself. You know, if it's the same thing, theoretically it should work. So what we want to do is go ahead and put the tray inside the bottom of the generator. Here's what the calcium carbide looks like. Looks like gravel almost. But when you add water to it, it creates acetylene gas. My father had some of this because he had a couple of lamps, acetylene lamps, and I used to play with this as a kid quite a bit. And it does start vigorously turning into acetylene gas. Alright, so let's get our acetylene lamp loaded up. It's going to be far more efficient because we're going to have a slow drip going in the calcium carbide, which will only let a little bit of the acetylene out at a time and allow this to last, hopefully, a couple of hours. I'm not going to put a whole lot in because this is just for a little demonstration. I'm not going for a ride, and as I mentioned, it's getting and more expensive to get a hold of our good calcium carbide. This top piece, the spring, is to push down and keep the calcium carbide held in place so it doesn't rattle and go around, and pushes down as it dissolves to keep it nice and compact while the water, controlled drip of water goes onto it. Easier to do when you don't have the camera in front of you. There we go. Now it's ready to go back on the bike.
That's it.
I wanted mine so dark because my battery was almost out.
Going the other way.
Top of your head and one of your feet, you're doing pretty good.